You think you can drop something and then everyone just shows up. So we got all the merch, all the products right here. These are not branded, but more so just like coats and different clothes that I'm styling the models in to fit the world more so. I don't want to shoot just products. I want to more so shoot a lifestyle, an environment, a way of being, an expression. So the theme of this shoot is, no, not Eight of Hearts. Looking at the card. It's Love is Not a Game. Little vibes. Okay, let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go! I think I got the balloons just because I got lured in, but I got the deck of cards. Also got some dice. So really driving home the theme of love is not a game. But the models are starting to get here. And time is now of the essence. So I know that's going to be the biggest thing for me, is fighting time and making sure I'm staying as dialed in as possible. I want to talk about some wins and then some lessons learned from this shoot. Wins. Had a really good idea of what I wanted, so good job with pre-production. The studio was awesome. The photos, here's how the photos turned out. People came out. There was a great aliveness to it. It felt very free flowing. We were very effective and efficient with time. Creativity was in the air. Now, losses, pain points. 2 hours in a studio, it flies by. I blink and all of a sudden we had 20 minutes left. So trying to be as effective and efficient as possible while we are in the space. I was trying to do everything, from shooting to directing to styling to hair and makeup, and my head was spinning. I felt it in my body. My upper back was tight. My nervous system felt fried. That's when I realized I was holding on to certain expectations. Having expectations isn't inherently bad, but having expectations around a certain outcome can lead to stress, can lead to being perpetually let down, and also leads to you not realizing that you don't need that immediate gratification. I'm talking to myself here. So let's look at the calendar. What just happened? Well, we just entered a new year. And if you don't know what that means, February 17th was a Lunar New Year. It also was Fat Tuesday, so the beginning of 40 days of Lent. What's really cool about this phenomenon, and you don't have to be into zodiac signs, super spiritual or anything to understand or to be impacted, affected, or just spiritually inclined to learn more about these two phenomenons. So Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, is culturally from the East. Fat Tuesday traditionally is practiced by Christians and is rooted in the West. So to have Lunar New Year and Fat Tuesday on the exact same day is mind-blowing. It's incredible. There's a lot of energy shifting right now in this new year of the fire horse. Now, if you don't know what the fire horse is all about, I'll break it down real fast. Think about a horse. Horse signifies independence, speed, bold action. Now, when you put fire and mesh it together with the horse, that leads to a certain level of intensity. That leads to a certain level of speed. That leads to a certain level of energy that you can move with and capture. Now, here's a great reminder. Fire horse, yes, very powerful, bold, momentous energy. But if that energy does not have direction, it can be a wildfire. So you want to try to direct that energy and be extremely intentional with the fire horse energy. Now let's look at Fat Tuesday. Fat Tuesday is the last day before Lent. So traditionally, people will indulge a lot before this 40-day period of introspection, discipline. A lot of times people give something up or commit to something to sharpen their discipline for these 40 days. So, example, I'm giving up sweets, or I'm committing to moving every day for 40 days. That is supposed to sharpen, it is supposed to help with your overall discipline and help you refocus and keep your connection in top priority with God. Now, what the fire horse energy means, and then also talk more about Lent, and then try to combine them as to this really powerful threshold that we are entering into as a collective. Learning how to talk better on camera, or just talk better in general. So I actually had a speech impediment growing up. I couldn't say my awes. It was always like, hey, Richard, no, you were white. And my mom actually took me to speech therapy, and it was not a fun place for me to be. They'd always make me play games and then correct my speech and train the tongue. But now I'm very grateful for it, because I do not sound like I'm from Boston anymore, when I'm not actually from Boston, so I don't need to sound like that. And I'm learning how to articulate better, because I was a big mumbler for a while. I want to go back to talking around this idea of expectations. So I had a lot of expectations in my head around dropping this collection. Oh, all my friends and family, they're going to support the drop. Those expectations only create a reality in which I'm not only just holding myself, but I'm holding other people to this certain level or expectation in our relationship that if they don't support me, then they don't love me. Or if they don't support this drop, then they don't support me as a human. When in reality, that's not true. People are just doing life and busy with their own life. So there is a lot of rewiring that I'm having to do right now in my brain of understanding that I'm playing the long game. I'm not here to seek that immediate gratification. Does it feel good when someone directly supports? Heck yeah. But having expectations around how friends and family will show up will only lead to disappointment. The expectations that I had on this drop created a certain level of tension in my body. Luckily, I have contrast therapy, I have yoga, I have movement as an incredible modality and a tool in my toolkit where I know how to move tension out of my body, and so it doesn't get stuck and then block me creatively and then weigh me down as a person. Movement is incredibly important to me. I think one thing this drop is reminding me of is people aren't in charge of validating my creative vision. If you're a creative and you're watching this, people aren't responsible for validating your creative vision. Your creative vision is your creative vision, and that is wonderful. It's dope. Don't change it. Now, it's great to be open if someone has an idea and that idea resonates with you, but just watch the way in which you are seeking validation from certain people for your creative vision on something. It's funny, the on my mug right here, I don't know if you can see it, so I'm just going to tell you. It says patience. And it's my favorite mug. I don't know how the mug ended up in my house, but it did. It's my favorite mug because I think about what it is like to sip patience. Can I give myself patience? Can I give others patience? Can I give life in general patience? Are you giving me patience right now? Thank you. It's very kind. Very kind. Pat's person through the screen on back. Okay, now I want to give you, just wrap this thing up. Number one, if you're new to this channel and have just stumbled upon this video or someone sent it to you, I have one goal for 2026, and that is to build a YouTube channel. Which means I'm putting a lot of creative energy and a lot of my time into making a video every week, no matter what. Create it, put it out, and then detach. Create it, put it out, and detach. Attaching too hard to the outcome leads to it getting really muddy with how you look at yourself and your identity. So, reps, reps, reps. That's how I'm thinking about these YouTube videos. It's all reps. Build for the long term, not the short term. This is, if he watches this video, you know what? I'm going to send him this video. Dickie, I call him Rich, but the internet knows him as Dickie. Rich, if you're watching this video, this is something that I hear you talk about all the frickin' time, is this idea of compounding. And I think a lot of the way in which Rich talks about compounding is through a business perspective, also habits. I want to take a sidestep over and talk about it through support compounding, trust compounding, and clarity compounding. Trust compounding, support compounding, and clarity compounding. So that goes back to point number 2, is the more in which you can get quality reps in, all of those things will compound. All right. I'm actually going up to North Carolina for a miniature retreat, and I'm going to bring you with me to that. So I'll see, wait a second. I'll see you. I gotta get better at that. I'll see you next Friday. Oh. It's my Chinese New Year shirt. It's not that you shouldn't, and discernment around the energy that you can, that leads to a certain level of weight. So I actually